Hey, good afternoon. So in this video, I'm going to begin my final for my Martian aliens. I have two on here. I might add a third, smaller mascot later on. I've started with really light pencil drawing. A lot of uncertainty in this area right here. I'm not certain what's going to happen. I have a general idea, and I'm hoping then when I go ahead and do this in marker now, things will come together for me. That's not always the case, all right? So having a pencil drawing, having an idea in place, having given some time and thought to the entire composition, that's where you want to be right now. You don't want to enter this process not exactly knowing how it's going to turn out. There has to be some plan in mind, and the pencil gives me that, all right? I'm going to be starting with shapes, flat two-dimensional things, but they're going to transform into forms later on. Not only with my line work, but also later on in a very second short video using colored pencil. So your final will be fully colored, fully shaded when you're done. I'm using concept paper right now, but this is not a concept drawing. This is really a final drawing. You might want to use 60-pound paper yourself, okay? Combination of geometric and organic, let's go. So here on this side, I have a very regular shape right now. It's somewhat triangular. To give it a sense of being more of a form, to give it some sense of depth, I'm going to go ahead and wrap some contour lines around it. You've seen things like this, wrapping around a barber pole, right? Red, white, and blue, spinning around to tell you the barber's in. So those are contour lines. They curve around. Here I have a small face. The mouth is rectangular. That's very regular. There's an ear. There's an ear. There's a nose. There's a chin. And here is a neck. All right, let me put in some details over there. Let's go ahead and put a little hair under there. So by and large, it's very geometric, but there's some organic shapes creeping in, okay? Just the outline of the face is pretty irregular, pretty organic. Now over here, there's going to be a much more complex creature. They don't have to be of equal complexity, you know. One can be simpler than the other. This one is going to have a good deal more parts, and there's going to be both organic and geometric shapes, forms in this one, okay? Maybe a more even balance than what we saw over here. So again, I start carefully, make sure that's secure so it doesn't fall off. Smaller areas don't have to come first, but they can. I'm going to darken the inside of the pupils, leave a little flash of white light there to give that some life. Here's the nose, in case you didn't know that. There's a nostril. That I just added. That's definitely an oval behind there, helping to form the teeth. I want to be sure and leave room for the tongue. You notice I have a plan in mind, even if I haven't totally planned it out on paper. Here comes the tongue. Maybe it's dripping a little bit. There are the teeth, a little shine on the teeth. Here's the lower jaw. Make sure I get that right. The individual teeth, and it goes back. I might use some line work back here just to add a little more depth to that surface, like the inside of your mouth would be dark. I'm going to go over here. I am jumping around a little bit, just so I don't forget that detail right there. You do understand that color would go a long way to help differentiate or show differences in things, right? Red tongue, white teeth, pink nose. Now here I have a hand with fingers sticking out. And the hand, the fingers at least, are very exaggerated. There's the arm right there. Here, I have a very small sphere and a section of cylinder. And this might be, underneath, a half a sphere or a hemisphere. These almost look like flower petals, or they do imitate these teeth up here, don't they look similar to those teeth? Here's a transitional element helping me to get down into the legs. There's a leg looking like a very skinny rectangular prism right there. I can darken one side to make it look like it's falling in shadow. Here's another, somewhat different. And let's make sure that this is, not sure what's happening there. That kind of was impromptu. I just kind of did that. To make sure that this side, this edge is differentiated from that, I'll make that dark right there, okay? Let's use some contour here and here. Remember, there's going to be a second video where I go ahead and add color and shading to this. I have a hand over here. I'm not sure. Well, I am going to do it. Let's go ahead and do this. This hand is holding a sphere, a very transparent glass sphere. So we're going to go ahead and provide that transparency, maybe later suggesting in color that it's glass-like and transparent. That hand doesn't seem to be attached to the body, so I better find some means of attaching it. Here we go. Right there. And those would be my two alien beings. Now all I have to do is add color and shading to them. That'll come in a second video. This is going to be your final, but it's not yet complete without that color and shading, okay? And although I like using marker, you don't have to. Marker is big and bold, and if you do it right, it really can stand out. Marker, if you do it wrong, can stand out in a bad way. Okay? Now you try.